Prologue: a gang of heavily armed men scour and eventually focus down on a residence in Wasseypur in January 2004. They surround the house and launch a barrage of gunfire and grenades at it, intending to kill the family within. They flee the crime site in a car after heavy fire on the house, believing they have killed everyone inside. The gang's leader then phones J.P. Singh on his mobile phone and announces that the family has been executed successfully, but he is betrayed by J.P. Singh when a firefight breaks out between them and a police checkpoint blocking their escape path. The scene immediately changes to a preface by Nasir, the narrator. In the sequel, the entire scene is revealed. Dhanbad and Wasseypur are introduced. The narration of Nasir covers the history and nature of Wasseypur. Wasseypur and Dhanbad were part of the Bengal area during the British Raj. They were separated from Bengal after India's independence in 1947 and redistricted into the state of Bihar in 1956. Wasseypur and Dhanbad were redistricted a second time in 2000, this time into the newly established state of Jharkhand, where they remain. The village has historically been ruled by the Qureshi Muslims, a subcaste of animal butchers who are hated by the village's non-Qureshi Muslims and, by extension, Dhanbad. During British colonial authority, the British took Dhanbad's agriculture fields for coal, launching the Dhanbad coal mining industry. The area was a hotspot of the local faceless dacoit Sultana Qureshi, who robbed British trains in the middle of the night and hence held some patriotic importance for the residents. 1940s. In 1941, Shahid Khan, Jaideep Ahlavat, a Pathan, takes advantage of the mystery surrounding the faceless Qureshi dacoit Sultana by imitating him to hijack British ferry trains. The Qureshi clans ultimately discover out and orders Shahid Khan and his family's expulsion from Wasseypur. They settle in Dhanbad, where Shahid starts working as a coal mine employee. He is unable to be present at his wife's birth, and she dies. Shahid, infuriated, murders the coal mine's Mussalman who had denied him leave that day. Independence-era India begins to exert its independence over itself in 1947. British coal mines are sold to Indian industrialists, and Ramadhir Singh, Tigmangshu Dhulia, is given a few coal mines in the Dhanbad area. Shahid Khan is hired as the new Mussalman for one of the coal mines. Shahid terrorizes the locals in order to steal their estates and force obedience. On a rainy day, Ramadhir Singh overhears Shahid's plans to take over the coal mines. Singh dupes Shahid into going to Varanasi for business, only to have him murdered by an assassin named Yadav Ji. Harish Khanna. Shahid's cousin, Nasir, Piyush Mishra, discovers Ramadhir's umbrella with his initials near the door and believes that Ramadhir eavesdropped on their talk. He exits the house with Shahid's son Sardar just before Ahsan Qureshi, Vipin Sharma, another Ramadhir Singh accomplice and member of the Wasseypur Qureshi clan, arrives to assassinate them but is too late. A failed Ahsan tells Singh that Shahid's family has been slain, burned, and buried. Sardar grows up in Nasir's care, with Nasir's nephew Asghar. Jamil Khan. Sardar discovers the truth about his father's death and shaves his head, vowing not to grow his hair again until he has avenged his father's murder. The early and mid-1970s. The coal mines are nationalized in 1972. Sardar Khan, Manoj Bajpai, and his ilk begin stealing Ramadhir's coal trucks in the middle of their journey. Ramadhir Singh suspects S.P. Sinha, a Coal India official, of being behind the hijackings and orders his assassination. Ramadhir's reputation for cruelty develops after Sinha's death, and he becomes dreaded in Dhanbad. Nugma Khatun marries Sardar, Richa Chatta. Inside a brothel, the pregnant Khatun approaches Sardar Khan with a prostitute and chases him away. Nugma later gives birth to Danish Khan but becomes pregnant shortly afterwards. Sardar reveals his sexual dissatisfaction to his kin after being unable to have sex with a pregnant Nugma. At supper, Nugma agrees to Sardar sleeping with other women on the condition that he not bring them home or dishonor the family name. Sardar, Asghar, and Nasir begin working for Ramadhir Singh's son, J.P. Singh, Satya Anand. They take advantage of their position by secretly selling the company's gasoline on the illegal market. They later loot a petrol outlet and a railroad bogie owned by the Singh family. They seize Singh's farm, forcing the two families to meet for negotiations. After a skirmish, Ramadhir Singh realizes that Sardar Khan is the son of Shahid Khan, whom he murdered in the late 1940s. Sardar and Asghar have been sentenced to prison for attacking J.P. Singh during the meeting. The early 1980s Sardar and Asghar escape from jail in 1979. Sardar marries a Bengali Hindu woman named Durga while hiding in Wasseypur. Rima Sen. Nugma is left helpless after Asghar informs her that Sardar has chosen a second wife. Meanwhile, Wasseypur and Dhanbad have combined, and the Qureshi clan continues to terrorize non-Qureshi Muslims. The locals then turn to Sardar Khan for assistance because he was well known for standing up to Ramadhir Singh. During Muharram, both Shias and Sunnis, including the Qureshi clan, are out in sorrow. Sardar takes advantage of the situation to execute a massive explosives attack against numerous Qureshi shops and homes. Sardar's reputation grows as news spreads about his raids, and he commands more dread than the Qureshi clan. Sardar eventually returns home to Nugma, and she becomes pregnant again. Sardar attempts to initiate intercourse with a pregnant Nugma, but she refuses, prompting an enraged Sardar to flee. He visits his second wife, Durga, who gives birth to their son, Definite. Ramadhir Singh, recognizing Sardar's abandonment of his first family, attempts to reach out to Nugma via Danish by providing him money. Nugma, angry, beats Danish for taking the money while she sobs in front of Nasir. Faisal, who is thirsty, awakens in the middle of the night to find Nugma and Nasir preparing to have sex. Angry, he storms out of the house and transforms into a stoner, always seen with his chillum. Nasir explains that the desires were never fulfilled, but Faisal and Nasir never speak again. The mid to late 1980s, sensing Sardar's growing weight, Ramadhir contacts an old ally, Ehsan Qureshi, who arranges a meeting between Sultan Qureshi, Pankaj Tripathi, his nephew, and Ramadhir Singh, at which the two decide to join forces against their common enemy, Sardar. Sultan requests contemporary automatic weaponry, which Ramadhir promises to provide. Sardar becomes the most feared man in Wasseypur in the 1990s and expands his operation to stealing iron ore. Danish Khan, Vineet Kumar Singh, accepts a position in the family business. An unsuccessful attack by Sultan Qureshi injures Danish but leads to reconciliation between Sardar and Nugma. Sardar locates Ramadhir and warns him of horrible repercussions if anything happens to his family. A mature Faisal, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, is deeply influenced by Bollywood films, and he begins acting, talking, and wearing like Bollywood characters. Sardar sends Faisal to Varanasi to buy weaponry, but Faisal is apprehended and imprisoned. Upon his release, he murders gun merchant Yadav, who, unbeknownst to Faisal, was the faceless assassin who killed Shahid Khan, Faisal's grandfather, and had previously accused Faisal to police. Meanwhile, Sardar seizes a lake owned by a local temple and imposes a commission on fish merchants who catch fish in that lake. When Danish Khan marries Shama Parveen, Sultan Qureshi's sister, an uneasy truce is maintained between the Qureshi and Khan dynasties. Simultaneously, Faisal begins dating Masina Hamid, Huma Qureshi, another of Sultan's kin. Epilogue: Faisal informs his friend Faislu that his father, Sardar, will be traveling without security the following day. Faisal has no idea that Faislu is an ally of Sultan. Faislu contacts the Qureshis late that night, while Faisal is still sleeping, and informs them that Sardar's bodyguards will not be with him the next day. Sardar leaves home alone the next morning and goes to Durga's residence to give her her spending allowance. Durga contacts the Qureshis after Sardar leaves and informs them that he has just left her house. The Qureshi men pursue Sardar's automobile, and when it stops at a gas station to refuel, they open fire as Sardar ducks inside the car for shelter. The Qureshi men fired 5 close bullets through the car window, assuring a precise and unambiguous hit before fleeing. Sardar, stunned, unlocks the car door and rises up, revealing multiple bullet wounds, one of which is embedded in his head. He steps out with his revolver pulled to stop a cycle ferry, on which he eventually dies.